Hi everyone. I'm back, and yes, I know I have bags under my eyes, I have pimples, but you know what? I'm human, and I be breaking out, like anybody else. Like, you see, my skin is red. I'm not wearing any makeup. Well, I'm wearing some makeup on my eyebrows and some lip gloss, but other than that, I don't have any makeup on. But yeah, I just felt like turning the camera on and recording, because why not? I don't need makeup and all of that. Well, I mean, I like it, but what am I even talking about? Okay, you guys probably don't even care. I don't care. You don't care. Good. Yes. So I wanted to come on here and tell you guys about my labor and delivery. So, as many of you know, I had a daughter back in 2020. Beautiful daughter, very healthy, Thank thank me and her dad, because we did our thing with her, and she's just so beautiful. She's 2 years old now. I really don't like posting her because there's a lot of creeps out there. I mean, sometimes I did catch myself posting her, but then I caught myself and I was like, what am I doing? Why am I posting my baby, my sweet, innocent baby? No. So if you go to my social medias right now, I do not have any pictures of her, but if maybe in the past you did see her and you know how she looks, because I'll post her here and there, like, well, I used to. Not anymore. You won't catch me posting her at all. But anyways, yeah, so let's take it back to 2020, August 2020. So my due date was August 19th, and I ended up having her August 16th, 2020. I don't know how many times I'm gonna say 2020. But anyways, so yeah. Let's see, where do I start? Okay, so the week before the 16th, I was having like really bad pains. Like, I thought I was in labor like 3 days out of the whole week. I mean, like 3 days. Okay, let me not confuse y'all because I'm confusing myself. Okay, so I had her the 16th. Prior to that, I had went to the hospital like 3 times. So if I had her on a Sunday, I went probably like the Tuesday, and then Wednesday, and then Thursday, and then Friday is when I went into the hospital, that Friday. So when I went to the hospital those days, they were like, you're fine, you're not dilated. I was like, not dilated the first few times that I went, but then the third time I was like 3 centimeters dilated. But guys, the pain I was having, oh my god, I was like, I'm in labor, like I'm about to have her, but it like felt like, I don't know what type of pain it felt like, but I was like, oh my god, I can't do this. I can't do this. This is what it's like. Lord help me, because it was unbearable. So what they basically told me to do is just like walk around and wait till you're dilated more, because we can't admit you. But guys, the pain, like, it was bad. I was like, I don't think I should be having this much pain if I'm not even dilated, but I didn't know, because this was my first time going into labor. So I would just come home, and my baby daddy was kind of mad at me. Well, not mad, but like he was like, I don't think you're in labor and this and that. I don't think we should go to the hospital. I was like, no, we're going to the fucking hospital. Oh, sorry. We're going to the hospital because this hurts. But anyways, he would work the night shift. So he would go in like around 10 at night and get out like the next day in the morning. So, basically he would sleep all day and I was in so much pain, so I would just like go walk around our little apartment complex, go up and down the stairs, and like just try to breathe through it, but it hurt so bad. Like I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I was like, oh, this is nothing. If I'm not even dilated, I know the pain I'm gonna have is gonna be like 50 times worse. So Friday comes by, and guys, I could not do it anymore. I was like, no, this hurts so much. I don't feel good. We have to go to the hospital. So once again, here we go, packing all our bags, well, putting all our bags in the car and driving to the hospital. Mind you, the hospital was like, is like 30 minutes from where we live. So in my mind I was like, Lord, what if I have my baby in the car? But I was like, no, I can't be that far dilated. And I was just going through, all that was going through my head. So we finally get to the hospital, and then they're like, they realize that I have preeclampsia. But since I was dilating, they didn't have to induce me because I was dilating on my own, so they just admitted us to the hospital. So this was Friday night. We were in the hospital. And the pain was just horrible, horrible. Like I could not do it. I was breathing in and out, just working through my contractions. And then the nurses would see like I was in so much pain, and they like offered me this type of drug. They said it was safe or whatever. At that point I was like, I don't care, give it to me. They gave it to me. It wasn't the epidural yet, but they gave it to me, and like it helped for a little bit, but that night was a blur. Like honestly, I was just in pain the whole night, and like the medicine wore off like not too long after. So oh, I was like, wow, like this is what's happening right now. So I was just in pain. Like I said, everything was a blur. So then comes Saturday, and I was like, I don't even remember how far dilated I was, but I was probably like 5 centimeters, and like, you know, I just kept breathing in and out and working through my contractions. And then it comes like in the afternoon, like around like 12, they noted, or like 3, I don't know guys, everything was a blur. Like honestly, I don't remember anything besides being in pain, and like the nurses and doctors just being there and like helping me. I don't think the doctors, but like, well, I think the doctors would like check up on me, but I was like in so much pain, everything was a blur. I know I keep saying it, but that's that. So come the afternoon, they notice I'm not dilating anymore, and your girl was in so much pain. Like guys, the pain that I felt was, well, obviously, like when you're having a fucking kid, like obviously it's gonna hurt, but I was like, whoa, like this hurts. So I was like 5 centimeters, and I didn't take the epidural, but then come like 5 in the afternoon, I'm like dilated to like 7 centimeters, and I stay at 7 centimeters for a long time. And I was in so much pain, and I was refusing the epidural. I didn't want it. I wanted to do all natural, but at that point I realized, like, you know, this hurts and I'm not dilating. I don't know how long it's gonna take for me to dilate, so just give me the epidural. So they gave me the epidural, and it kind of helped me for a while, but then I started to feel my legs tingle, and I was like, I don't think I'm supposed to be feeling this. Like, what's going on? So I tell my nurses, and then they're like, they call the freaking doctor. I don't know what they're called, but the ones that give you the epidural, they call the person, and then I think she was a girl, yeah. And then she comes in, and then she starts talking to me, and I'm like, yeah, like, you know, my legs are tingling. And they were like, well, that's not good. And then they started to notice that I was getting a fever, and then my baby's heart rate was going up or down. I think it was up, and I had caught an infection. So they were like, you know, since you're not dilating, and you know you have an infection, and the baby's heart is going up or down, I don't remember. They suggested a C-section, and at that moment, I looked at my fiance, because he's my fiance. But okay, that's another story. But I have a ring, but it does not fit me, and we haven't went to go get it sized. So anyways, my fiance, my baby daddy, I looked at him, and I just started crying, because I was like, no, like, I don't want a C-section. I was just crying, and he was like, you know, everything's gonna be okay, and just comforting me. And I was like, no. I was like, but in my head I was like, well, there's no other option. Like, this has to be done, because there's just no other option. So they gave us like a few minutes to, like, you know, like, process it. So I finally like calm myself down, and he calms me down, and like tells me like everything's gonna be okay. And I'm like, yes, you're right, everything's gonna be okay. This is what has to be done, so there's no going back. So, you know, they start getting the surgery room ready and everything, and they take us back to the surgery room, and it's just me and my fiance. So we're in the surgery room, and then they're like, we're gonna test you. Like, if you had a C-section, you know, like, they pinch you with the tool to see if you're fully numb or whatever, and I was fully numb. So they proceeded with the C-section. And my fiance was there the whole time. I don't know how he did it, because I would have passed out if it was like the roles were reversed. If I was watching the C-section, man, I would have been passed out. I couldn't even step in the surgery room, honestly, because, oh no, I can't do blood. Anyways, so they are doing the C-section, and then, like, I just feel like pulling and tugging. It like really doesn't hurt, but it does not feel good. So they're like, she's coming out or whatever, and then they were like, she's out or something like that. And then my fiance was like, she looks just like you, or something like that, something to that nature. And I was worried, guys, because I didn't hear my baby crying, and I thought, like, right when they said she's out, I thought she should be crying, but she wasn't crying. So I was like kind of scared. I was like, what's going on? And then like a couple seconds after, I hear her crying, and then I'm like, oh my god, that's my baby. So then yeah, so they bring her to me, because my fiance, I believe he stayed next to me like the whole time. No, he didn't. Once they took her out, I believe he went like with them to like see her and weigh her and whatever. So um yeah, she finally starts crying, and then I like feel relieved, because I was freaking out. I was like, why is she not crying? Is she okay? Turns out she had the umbilical cord wrapped around her neck, and yeah, I was like, oh, she was 7 pounds 10 ounces, 21 inches long. Yeah, and it was just so beautiful. Like, when they brought her so I can see her, I was like, that's my baby. Like, oh my god. It wasn't real. Like, I was like not there. I was there obviously, but it's like I wasn't there. It was like it was a movie. So then after after they take her. And like even before like I went into labor or whatever, me and my fiance talked about, like I told him, I was like, if anything like happens, like I want you to go with the baby and like I'll be okay, like just go with the baby, make sure you know she's okay and everything. So him and the baby go to like a room, I forgot what it's called, but they go into the room and wait for me while they finish putting me back together because they fucking tore me apart. So they put me back together. It's like 15-20 minutes and I start getting like sleepy, guys. Like throughout the process I was getting so sleepy and I like thought I was dying. Like I was like, oh my god, my eyes were closing and everything, and I was like, oh my god, I'm about to die. I was just thinking like, God, please let me live so I can take care of my daughter, so I can watch her grow up and be there to protect her. So all that's just going through my head, and then like the nurse, one of the nurses that was next to me, she was like, you can go to sleep if you want. And I was like, oh, I can. And she was like, yeah. So then I fall asleep. I don't know for how long. I think maybe like 5 or 10 minutes at the most. And then they finally finish and they take me back with my baby and my fiance. And so then I'm just there with them, and you know, they told me I lost 3 liters of blood. So I had to get a blood transfusion. And yeah, guys, we had to stay in the hospital for like 3 days after my C-section. And yeah, it was just crazy. I couldn't believe it. But my baby, she's a really healthy baby. And yeah, I don't, that's it, guys. That's the story of me, my labor and delivery. I know it was kind of all over the place and I didn't get into too much detail, but I got into as much detail as I could remember. Most of it was a blur for me, so I really don't remember much, but I told you what I remember, and yeah, that's it. Um it was the best day, one of the best days in my life, honestly. Like I was like, this is my baby. And like everybody said she was my twin. Like she had, when she first came out, she had a head full of hair. Like it was just hair. And I was like, oh my god, that is my baby. That's my baby, because me and her dad have a lot of hair. And like I was like, she was blessed with beautiful hair. Her hair is still so beautiful and curly. I'm like, girl, when you get bigger, your hair is gonna be just like your daddy's, and his hair is like really curly and just beautiful. But yeah, guys, thank you for listening to my story. I hope you guys stayed through the whole video. Yeah, I don't know when I will be uploading. I'm gonna try to upload like 2 times a week. I don't know. I'm gonna cut that out because honestly, I'm gonna try, but I don't know. You guys give me ideas of what I can talk about, or like story times, like I don't know, just ideas for my videos, because I literally thought about, was sitting here, I was like, what am I gonna record? Because I have plenty of ideas, but I was like, which one would be like the best one, or which one should I do? And I just sat here, started the camera, and just did whatever came out of my mouth. And it was my labor and delivery. So yeah, guys, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe.